Chris, what is our first main topic today?
Our first one comes from Luis Enrique De La Peña. Good morning, Campea Crew. It looks like the axe of Zaslav is getting bigger and thirstier. There's a new report that suggests Discovery might be laying off up to 70% of the HBO Max development staff from scripted content. I have 2 questions. Does this mean that HBO Max might be shutting down later this year? Could their IP be on hold, DC, The House of the Dragon, etc., until the merger is finalized? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Thanks, and bring on the filthy.
All right, thank you so much for that, Luis. And holy shit. I mean, yesterday, look, we as a fandom, and listen, we all get caught up in this. I get caught up in it. You get caught up in it. We all get caught up in this sometimes. There's a disease that we have of reading headlines without reading articles sometimes. And then once that headline gets read and an assumption gets made, people start running around like Chicken Little yelling that the sky is falling. It's like, whoa, everybody just take a breath. Because I got inundated and flooded with tweets and comments and emails yesterday about, number one, did you hear that they're shutting down HBO Max? I mean, that's how extreme it got. They're shutting down HBO Max. They're laying off 70%. Here's the big one. They're getting rid of scripted content. Did you say it was all over the place? They're getting rid of scripted content. Oh my God, the hair's on fire. Everybody's running around. What the fuck? Like everybody was losing their shit. And then what happened was when you take a breath and actually start reading the actual articles that the actual trades were writing, not Gus's movie reviews .fart sites, but I mean the actual trades, what they were writing, you start to get a little bit of a better picture. Number one, HBO Max is not going anywhere. If you needed any proof of that, Jonathan, if you will, this kind of came up today. HBO Max put out this tweet today about what's going to happen. Well, they just made nope, that's not the one. The image, that's the one. HBO Max put out this tweet today. We are adding a new way to watch Magnolia Network starting on September 30th. You can watch Chip Gaines and Joanna Gaines, all seasons of Fixer Upper, and select Magnolia originals on HBO Max.
Hell yeah, shiplap all the time.
shiplap. It's HBO Max is not going anywhere, okay? So don't worry about that. Also, a bunch of people yesterday freaking out. Oh my God, I think they're going to merge in HBO Max with Discovery Plus. Really? Huh. Where did I hear that before? All right, Jonathan.
This one I'm ready for.
4 months ago. 4 months ago, we told you guys that Discovery and HBO Max are going to be merged into one streaming service. And the reason that they quoted at the time, and this was not a report, like the CFO of Discovery said, the reason we are going to merge the two streamers into one is because this will save us $3 million. No, not $3 million. $30 million. No, not 30, not 300 million. No, $3 billion a year.
What?
By doing this. $3 billion a year we're going to save by merging in HBO Max with Discovery. This has been something we have known about for a long time. And number one, speculated about as much as a year ago. And then 4 months ago, we told you guys they were going to be merging this in. I mean, so this is not surprising. We've known about this. Everybody take a deep breath. Now, one of the big things that then kind of came out, people said, they're going to be laying off all the staff to replace them with Discovery people. No, they're not. Let's go over and take a look at this article here that was in the wrap, okay? Now, yes, the headline would make you go, oh my God, that means HBO is being destroyed. No. Let's actually listen to the article. The article says this, and this comes to us again from the wrap that says the following. The move will result in a gutting of HBO Max, significant layoffs for its executives and staff to minimize, this is the important part, to minimize redundancies with HBO. A lot of people forget that HBO Max and HBO are two different things, which only compounds the problem. Back, remember when they announced HBO Max and we were all like, this is causing mass confusion with customers because we had HBO Go, we had HBO Now, and now we have HBO Max.
I'm still confused.
I mean, I think a lot, and I think the fact that so many people got worried about this kind of highlights the fact that that was a dumb move they made at the time with their naming profiles, because people today were still really confused. So in the context of them, they're going to lay off a lot of HBO Max people. It's because there are so many redundancies with core HBO. Anyway, let's keep reading this article. To minimize redundancies with HBO and the combined streaming service with Discovery Plus, with a harder line separating between scripted and unscripted options. Guys, they are not getting rid of scripted content. Not at all. As a matter of fact, they're doubling down on it. Listen to this. Zaslav and his surrogates have been quietly telegraphing to top showrunners and talent that HBO content chief Casey Bloys will take a more senior role as the two streaming platforms are combined. We are told that Bloys, the hitmaker who nabbed HBO 140 Emmy nominations and is set to launch the Game of Thrones prequel House of the Dragon on August 21st, will certainly take charge of the scripted content. HBO is very safe. If this was Game of Thrones, Casey Bloys won, a Hollywood agent with knowledge of the plans said to the Wrap. Okay, number one, HBO isn't going anywhere. Number two, yes, there are layoffs happening because they're more tightly integrating HBO Max with HBO, and HBO has been the king of the hill. HBO is the one that won all the Emmys and got all the Emmy nominations and all that kind of stuff. So yes, there are a lot of redundancies in staff between HBO Max and HBO, so those are the ones that are getting amalgamated. Number three, no, they are not getting rid of scripted content. The number of headlines I read last night of all these sites running, HBO getting rid of scripted content. No, they're not. Stop reading the headlines and read the actual articles. Scripted content aren't going anywhere, and the guy who's been the mastermind behind it all is getting promoted into the company. So look, later today at 1:30 this afternoon, oh, hello, Joey Bishop.
She was just staring at
When you get passionate, she's like, yes, John.
Do it. Do it. Tell him, John.
So listen, we've got a 1:30 p.m. Los Angeles time, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when they're going to have their Investors Day call. And I think you're going to hear a lot of their organizational shifting, who's going to be in charge of certain divisions and all that kind of stuff. Now, 4 months ago, when they announced that they were going to be merging HBO Max and Discovery Plus, they did say this isn't going to be something that happens immediately. This is going to take time. So whether they're announcing the actual merger today, I don't know. I'm 50-50 on that because it sounded like it was going to take at least a year. Like 4 months ago, it sounded like it was going to take at least a year. So maybe we'll hear about the merging today, but HBO is very safe and very healthy. Scripted content is going nowhere, and HBO Max is not disappearing. So yeah, so everybody can take a breath. And listen, I expect we're going to get some surprises. I expect to hear and find out some things today in this Investor Days call that maybe I never knew about, or maybe might be different than what I was assuming. But for right now, guys, everybody take a breath. HBO's fine. We want to thank the sponsor of this video, Stamps.com. Now, guys, you don't need me to tell you that running a business, no matter how big or small, is an incredible stress. It feels like you need 5 of you for all the different directions you're being pulled in. And with all that, who's got time to go to the post office? Having to drop everything that you're doing to make a run to the post office is a major pain and drain on your day, especially when you've got more important things to do, like running your business. So stop mailing and shipping the hard way. Stamps.com is your 24/7 post office that you can access from everywhere. Skip the headache with Stamps.com. Stamps.com gives you access to all of the post office and UPS shipping services that you need right from your computer. And get discounts you can't find anywhere else, like up to 30% off USPS rates and 86% off UPS. Stamps.com just makes your life easier, guys. You're up and running in minutes, printing official postage for any letter, any package, anywhere you want to send it. So guys, don't mail and ship the hard way. Sign up with Stamps.com today. Sign up with the promo code Campea for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the page, and enter the code Campea. Anyway, Chris, you saw the headlines. You saw the tweets. We saw these things going around.
I read the DMs.
But now that we're actually reading the articles and stuff like that, what's your takeaway from all this?
I mean, this is such a clear case of people reading headlines and not reading articles. And that's so problematic. Y'all just read a full article. It's totally fine. Because a lot of times, what do? They make clickbaity. So you click it, but everyone instead just retweets it now.
Yeah.
So obviously, it's never a good thing when a whole bunch of people are laid off. And my hearts go out to everyone who's dealing with this. It's not fun. I've been laid off from creative jobs. It's a bummer, but it is because they're streamlining things. And HBO was never going to cancel creating content. That's their bread and butter. I got so many messages, even during the show yesterday, of they're scrapping HBO. Do you have a source for me? No. It's like, okay, well, I don't think that's happening then, sport.
It's
It's
just
okay.
a gut check.
Yeah,
It's a gut
I
check.
feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. So, Game of Thrones, things like this, we think of HBO content as prestige content. We think of that as the kind of gold standard of what television creation can be, right? Aaron was talking earlier about how the lines between film and television have become so blurred, and I think they're a big part of that, right? It's because they create these beautiful narratives that you need 12 episodes to really tell that story. You don't need a limited miniseries. You need episodes to tell their epic narrative. So I really think the content creation over there is safe.
Aaron, you hear about all this. I mean, you've obviously been involved in this world a lot, but anyway, what's your takeaway from this story?
You know what? I actually would really like for you to break it down for me and for the other ding-dongs out there who might be watching.
Huh?
I still don't fully get, like I said, I'm still confused. I still don't fully understand the difference. Like, I understand that HBO Max is for streaming and HBO is for people who have not cut the cable. And is that right? But don't they have the same content?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah. No. You're
so
preaching to the choir, sister.
Okay, so no, I literally, I'm not even trying to preach. I'm just trying to get clarity on this. So is it that there's HBO that is for people who still have their cables, and then there's HBO Max for people who have cut their cables, but they show the same content, but they are run with completely different staffs of people?
Well, and actually, if you have HBO on cable, they usually give you HBO Max.
Yeah, they'll
for
usually give you HBO Max for free. This is one of the reasons why when Zaslav and Discovery took over, they mentioned the redundancy. Like, this was a year ago.
That whole setup makes no, like, that the only way that this makes sense is if the people who are already running HBO have like a division within that is doing HBO Max, and they talk to each other and they work together as a team. It would be like if all of a sudden, Robert Meyer Burdett had an entire staff of people that did mailbag. We'd be like, okay, that's kind of stupid. Like, this is all in one house.
Yeah, it was basically when they walked in and looked at the way AT&T was running Warner Brothers and all of its subdivisions, it was, this is a clown show.
Yeah.
Like you greenlit a fucking Wonder Twins movie. Anyway, yeah, they walked in. They basically, everything that you guys are doing here is being done wrong.
See,
But there is content on HBO Max that is not on regular HBO Mothership.
I'm not even clear on that. Like, I am an HBO Max subscriber. I'm not
Same.
even clear on that. Like, from day one, when they launched HBO Max to go along with HBO Now and HBO Go and HBO, like, we never really had a very clear picture. And I'm
Right.
sure some of you guys probably do understand and have a totally clear picture in your head. But for a lot of us, like, it was always very confusing. So anyway, guys, listen. It sounds like it's all going to be fine. It's just like when they merged Fox in with Disney, there's going to become a lot like, we don't need 3 vice presidents of organization. We don't need 4 senior vice presidents of operations. There's going to be a lot of redundancy.
Well, somebody said in the chat, they were like, well, there's 2 budgets. And so if you reduce that, then there's less budget for the projects. That's not,
we're talking about operations.
yeah, that's not how it works. John just said they're going to save, what, $3 billion with a
year.
big capital
And that's
B?
all just from operations costs.
Yeah, just operations. And guess what? That money is going to funnel into more projects. There's just going to be less redundancy.
The way that I think of it is it's as if I've put 3 place settings down for the same person. So I've gone, I'm serving dinner to Aaron, Ms. Cummings, and Cookie. And then someone goes, that's all the same. And I go, oh shit, let's take 2 of these plates away.
Yeah.
I mean, I get a little bit of an oversimplification.
Yeah.
But actually not a bad analogy. Probably
Yeah.
more effective than anything I said here today. All right, guys, what do you think? I mean, we've got the actual Investors Days call a little bit later, but did you see a lot of those headlines that they're scrapping HBO, they're getting rid of scripted content, they're doing that? Look, guys, none of that is true. Anyway, whatever your thoughts are, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.